Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, whatever time of day it is. I'm glad you're here. So now that we have finished up our Neon Junk Journal and I'm getting settled in my new studio space. Well, it's not finished yet. It's my workroom at the moment. I have a work table. I have some things out. I still have a lot to do in here before I can make it more functional. So that being said, I'm like, I need to work on something and do some stuff and show you guys some things. And yeah, so this is a journal that was in my kind of round to its bin of things that I started, didn't get finished, had to, change everything that I was working on to like do another thing. So anyway, this is a journal. I think I had intended it to be like a natural kind of, maybe like a field style journal or something like that. I don't even remember what pages I pulled for this, and I have everything for this signature. I have the cover started, so I'll just kind of talk about what's here first, and then we're gonna rediscover these papers together and see what I may or may not have already done. I don't know. So botanical, obviously, these beautiful irises I'm gonna go with, or lilies. They kind of, not quite sure exactly what they are. Probably this looks like an iris, but I guess these look more like lilies. Not, or maybe they are all lilies. I don't know. This is a scrap from, it's an upholstery scrap from like samples and a cereal box. So what I did, this is just literally, you can see it is a cereal box. That's what I started with. And then I laid out my fabric and decided what I wanted to do. I have some extra edges because I probably wasn't quite sure what I was going to be doing. This can get folded over yet all the way around, make a lining for that. So that's our cover. And obviously our pages are already going to fit in there. So we'll set this off to the side. So we have a cover semi-started. And then we have all of these things here, which as we go through them, we'll figure out what they're going to be for. This, I have a feeling, was meant to be the closure. So I think this was the ribbon. And this is one of those shoelaces from like the 80s. The lace shoelaces that you could put in. I'm pretty sure it's from the 80s. I remember these from when I was young. So I think that was going to be the closure. I was going to do that with some kind of tie or wraparound or something. So that's what that was for. So I kind of had a little bit of a plan, and I kind of had a little bit of a start with these pages because some of them have some sewing and things on them. So I guess we're just going to sort through and see what we got, because I really have no idea. I know there's some smaller pages, bigger pages, things like that. If you are hearing some stuff, my son's in the other room, and though he knows I'm recording, he's 5, so you might hear some bonking around and stuff. You also might hear some scratching every once in a while because my house rabbit is now in my studio, which I love, and he is out right now because he was rattling around in his cage. So he is out bopping around and discovering things and trying to figure out what he can get into, because he is a stinker. He's naughty. His name is Pixie, and he is a mixed breed. And yeah, but he is, so I might have he is bippy bopping and hippy hopping around right now. He's loving it. I put a big throw rug down on the floor since the floor is kind of slippery, and he's loving life at the moment. Anyway, so we'll get back into this stuff. So some ledger with just a piece of this interesting kind of lace trim, and then I sewed some pages together so that they would be big enough. So we've got a few of those kind of spots to make some interesting pages. And yeah, we're just going to keep going through this stack. So I have put some trim on these. Yep, some roses. And I think these are all like sewn pages. So maybe I'll just make a stack of things that have sewing on them and go from there. Here's another one sewn together in a couple of ways. Different orientations for pages here. This one I sewed an envelope one of my coffee dyed. This is coffee dyed. I dyed this. This is not photocopied or anything like this. This is one of my coffee dyes. Gorgeous. I love that. So now we have this nice pocket here, part of an old Norwegian book. And what are you doing, Pix? Pixie Sticks, what are you doing? Causing trouble. Okay, I have to kind of keep a little bit of an eye on him since he is so naughty. This is fun. So that's what you can do when you have some of those smaller pages that you want to include, but don't know how, and like that. So I just used a big page or a long page of, so this was a piece of stationery, and then this was probably from like a packet of papers that I had for collage or something. So now those two are sewn together to make a great page. I do have to get him. He is chewing on something he should not. Pixie, stop. Okay. I got him out some toys, so he is going to get into the stuff that he should and not the stuff that he shouldn't, hopefully, in theory. So, because he, unfortunately, with all the move and stuff, he hasn't been able to get out of his cage as much as I wish him to be. We practically don't want him in his cage. I just want him to be able to be out and about. Unfortunately, he's super naughty, so I have to really be careful and protect things. So I had to barricade cords and stuff like that. But luckily, I'm a junk journaler, so he's always got paper and things like that to play with. Anyway, here's another stationery sheet, piece of coffee dyed. Makes a great thing. So yeah, you might hear some chewing sounds. He actually has stuff he can chew on now. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to put these trim pages here, and these are like spliced together pages. So we'll make some different piles so I can see what we got. Because here's another page here that has some lace on the edge. Now we have a doily, paper doily, and then we've got some other kind of plain papers. So let's make a stack of those and see what we got. And then we'll have to do a count and see where we're at. This has got lots of really plain, more plain paper in it. That's vellum, mulberry paper, scrapbook paper, another piece of paper. Here's some coffee dye. So let's maybe make like a coffee dye section if we've got full pages. So like I said, I don't know what's in here. Here's another coffee dye. This one too. This is also coffee dyed. This is from a book. So regular book page. Running out of counter. This is like also kind of regular paper. Regular paper. Here's some music paper. Here is basically property plans or something. Interesting kind of paper. Plain on one side, patterned on the other. Old notebook paper that I had tested out, some stamps that I made. This is like coffee dye and whatever. Put that in the coffee dye pile. Okay, now we have like smaller pieces. So there's, or weird. So let's just we'll make a pile here maybe. So you guys can see. So some mulberry. This is like a smaller, from like a planner or something. We got some scraps from other types of paper. And everything's been folded already, which is nice. Here's a little paper bag. Another piece of just plain. Another envelope. Oh, this one. This I'm gonna pull this one because I'm planning on making a rabbit journal. So this one I'm gonna pull to put in that because I've slowly been collecting things. A strange receipt from a golf course. Oh, what does it say? Don't drive off driveway. The house has a drive-through garage. Interesting. Okay. And a little book page, another little book page. So not tons of book page in this, but I think I was trying to use up some stuff. So that's kind of fun. So now I counted, there are 41. I pulled one page, that leaves us with 40. So that means how many signatures would we like to put in this? Knowing that I make thick, chunky stuff, let's maybe think about less pages per signature so we have space to add all kinds of goodies. Do I have a ruler? I do. So this is about 1 inch and 7/8. Weird measurement, but fine. Cover size is roughly 6.5. Oh no, not 6.5 because that's the end of the ruler. Not 6.5. 7. Seven and a quarter by 9. 7 1/4 by 9. I should write that down on something. I don't have. I have a scrap. I have a scrap. Of course I have scraps. I'll just write on this one. 7 1/4 by 9 inches. Okay, just so I have an idea of what size we are looking at here. So with a spine this big, this is what I want to think about. Oh, let's see. Here's the 0. I'm going to have it. So on this part of so 0 is my middle. I like this ruler because it can give me a really good estimation for spine stuff. That's better than most things. So 7/8 each way, which is perfect. So if we go, give ourselves a 1/4, so we could do 1/4 of an inch in between. Yeah, 1, 2. So we could do theoretically 4 signatures. Okay, that makes sense. That makes sense for the 40. So that's probably what I was thinking. So quite often when I do these ahead of time, I do leave myself a Post-it note to kind of tell me what my original plan was. Maybe I didn't, it fell off. I have no idea. So we are looking at 4 signatures, 40 papers. So that's 10 each. So 4 times 10. Okay, so now we need to break these signatures down into a manageable bite. So that's what we need to do. And I'm not quite sure. We have like these 2 random book pages that don't really go into any specific pile, and then these tinies. So basically what we're going to do is we're going to make 4 piles and see what we can do. So I'm going to use the fancier stuff first, and then we'll go to the coffee dye, and then we'll even it out with the plain. So we got 1. This feels so thick. It must just be this amazing paper. So 2 and 3. Can you see all of, I think you can see all of this on camera. Yes. Okay, perfect. Maybe we'll scoochies and scoochies. Scoochies. Move my cup. That'll help. My drink cup is in the way today. I have limited table space, so you do what you can. So this is great. Then we need something. I like to do similar things in each of my signatures. So these each have a sewn trim on them. I don't have any other sewn trim, but what we do have is something different. So then let's do that. So we have this variation, which kind of can fall into this category where it's printed. So then we can use this as that printed element, and it's a little bit more interesting on the edges. So that's what we'll do, is we'll kind of pull from some of the other ones to kind of even it out. So next, this is really plain. Let's look on the inside. Still very plain. And we're going to put that with something more fancy. So we're going to do that. Now, this is just about like finding the friends that they look the best with together and kind of balancing everything out. I like this peachy color, but this kind of has some peach, so let's put the peachy one here. Then this one's got coffee dye. See, you can hear him nibbling away over there. These are all like stationary blended friends. Now he's gonna come over here. Hi, Pix. This one's really yellow and it has a good contrast. Let's put it with this one. And then this has got the petals. I think it goes good with that. And then we have these two extras. So we're gonna set these aside to fill out with our other last music page there, so that we each one of these has something similar. So there we go. Next, let's do our plain papers, plain-ish. I'm gonna start on this side because these are more plain on this side. So I know this doesn't have a lot of, so we're gonna put a lined. This has texture on it, which would be great with adding to stuff so we can ink it a little bit. I'm gonna put that friend there. This part of putting signatures together can be super fun, and it can be super frustrating to some people as well. I could see it going either way. So now they each got one of those. Now we're gonna move on to another. So let's do, that's kind of interesting one. This has some green, let's add some color. That one's green already. This has a bunch of color. Let's add it to this one. Then we have this kind of pinky tone. We put the mulberry paper there. Let's put this friend here. This has lots of writing. How about here? Oh, we need to put a friend there first. Do I have another plain? Okay, so now I have writing. It's okay. That's gonna go there. That's gonna go there. What did I do? Two plain. Okay, so now we've got 3 left. This map page, we're just gonna kind of put some stuff together. This I might put into the other weird little pages. And let's put you here. So we need 2 more. And we have 2 interesting ones. So let's do here and here. Let's switch it. That one and that one. No, this one had a bigger one. See? I'm gonna second guess myself, and it doesn't really matter. It's gonna be beautiful. Okay, so we should be all happy. Everybody's got the same amount still. Next. Coffee dye or coffee adjacent. How many do we have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. Hey, buddy. And this one has a coffee already, so even if it doesn't get another extra coffee, that's okay. Might put that in the little pile. So then we got 4 left. Perfect. So a green. Did we put anything green here yet? No, let's put this green one here. Good. It's like beehive is kind of fun. This vines and this lined. So that was easy. They each got one of those. Now, this little fun stack. So this friend, thinking back to what we got, let's go ahead and put it with that one. We have a green, so let's put that green there. Let's put this friend here. This has a piece of map page, which is different than the other map that's there, so that's fine. This has writing. Let's do, okay, so I'm at 1, they each got 1. So now I'm just gonna go down the line and try to just go with it. And just keep on going. See, this is lined. We don't want to do that, so we'll put that one there. We'll put that one there. This is an interesting one. Cool. That one, and that one, which is perfect. This is our last page, and I don't think there was any music in this one. I think that one did, so perfect. Okay, so we have our 4 signatures all set. Let's put them into some orders to see what we want to do moving forward. So I'm going to move these out of the way quick, the extra ones, and then we're going to go ahead and get these together. So we are rocking and rolling. What is the first thing we want to see in this signature? That's what we need to think about. So I'm going to see if, because I always like the first page in any signature to basically be a wower, and I like the middle one to kind of be a wower of a wower. It's a great word, huh? Something with a middle, really good middle, or lots of writing or something interesting. I think this is fantastic to put in the middle. So that's going to be our middle. And I think the music paper on the outside. So I think those two things are going to be, or we could go with something more plain on the outside. Let's go with the pink, and maybe we'll kind of do that throughout, or we'll go every other one, to be determined. So we're going to start with that on the outside, this on the inside. So what is going to go really well next to this? Something plain-ish. What do we got inside here? It could be so that's a matte page. That could be nice on the inside too. This could be kind of nice because it's kind of, let's do it. Let's do it. So now something a little more plain. This vellum is going to look great. So we're going to do this vellum page. I love that because you'll be able to see through it on both sides. Then we'll do the map. Then we got these friends. We have a pockety page. Let's do this green. Big bold. And coffee. Let's do small. Do a small pocket. We'll do this. Then we'll do the coffee dye. Then see, conundrums of conundrums. I kind of want to, I like this and this. I like how this sticks out like that. So let's take a peek and see where these might fit in really quickly here. Where they might look nice. Because remember, we're going to decorate and stuff too. And add some other types of interest. I like how that looks both sides. It is very nice. And then of course our center, which I love how that looks. I love that. And I love our kind of warm tones. I'm wondering if with some of these brighter pages, we don't tone them down a little bit so we get more neutrals. This is a lot of space to break up. So let's do this. Lots of blank space there. I like that. So that's like that. Do have another small here. That's okay. And then here, let's put this friend in. I hear nibbling, but I don't see the nibbler. It's like as soon as I say something, he stops. He's being a stinker. I might have to grab him. This one, I think I got it sorted out. I think he's going to be a stinker again. I don't know what he's getting into, which is the problem. Because I don't see anything there, but I hear him chewing on something. He's such a turkey. Anyway, sorry if my rabbit talk is annoying you. Another change to our living space. Things we're working through. Anyway, this signature sorted. Let's do the next one. Okay, that is so pretty. And I think that will be the sun. I think that'll be the thing you see first in the signature. I think that's going to be that side, but let's see what we have for a middle. And I may have had a thought in the beginning, but I don't know. These all seem much smaller than those pages, and that might be something to think about as well. You know what we could do? This could be the center. Let's do it. This will be the center. That'll be the outside. Now we'll go from there. I'm going to do this one next. That's a really plain, something less plain next to that. You know, we could do little. let's do this little music page and then this friend. That kind of breaks it up a little bit, gives it a slightly different interest. And you have some other fun things too. What's this one? Okay, that's fun too. Okay. Sorry, I looked over at him and he was just trying to get comfy to lay down, which is adorable. Well, let's see. That's nice. And then we'll do something different here. This weird blobbies of a smiley face. I think it was accidental. Might have been my kid. I don't know. Let's do this one. This one has a lot of variation in size, which could be really interesting. It could be a little frustrating later on too. We'll see. We will see. I don't think it'll be frustrating. It'll be just an interesting challenge. Okay, so let's see where these two little friends are gonna go. See if we find spots where they'll look really good. The green might look nice in there. Also there, but I don't want to have too many smalls right next to each other. Oh, let's do that. Let's break up this with some green. Mulberry. Off kilter folds, which is fun. This one, and then our center. Do we want a little lined bit in here? No, not a fan. Doopies. Let's see. I think toward the fronts maybe. I like that. I like that. That's not so bad. That's not so bad. Let's put it in here. So it'll change up our lines. That'll be kind of fun. Okay. So that one's done. That's two. Here's our next. So this one, I know we don't have that outside lacy one, but let's see what we got. We have some, I know we got some colorful pages. Plain, this is a plain whites. This coffee dye is nice. That could be fun on the inside. Oh wait, here's our let's do this one in the inside and we'll go from there. So this will be center. We still need outside. I think we'll pick that for the outside. Or we could do a plain white, or we could change it up, fold this around. Because right now we have a pink, we have the white with the lace, and a text. And then I guess it'll just depend on what that last one is going to look like. We can always change it around, but I would like to have like a decided thing. Let's do the green for some also varied interest in our signature. So I'm just going to flop that around. That's going to be our outside. Then let's do this because I think that will look really fun. Although having the biggest page on the very outside, it's fine. It's going to be fine. It's going to be fine. So we have those two pages set. This is our center. What do we want next after a coffee dyed pocket and a fun page like that? Something kind of plain. Let's just go with this friend. And then we'll do decisions. You know what? Yeah, let's do it. Are they smaller? Yeah, they're smaller in the inside signature with fun stuff sticking out. So let's go. Let's go. Let's do it. Let's do this one and let's do it down here like this. And then we'll put this one up here like this. Then we'll go this. We might revamp this here in a second. We'll see. I like the soft neutrals, so definitely these bright white ones we're going to have to do something with. Like, that's a lot. That is a lot. So, yes. Yes, yes. That's really white, really plain. We have to rearrange this slightly, I think. Let's do this one next. I like these with that. Got room. Now, let's do this. Then this one. Yes, I like this better. I like this better. And then this on the outside here. And then this on this side, like so. Okay, perfect. I love that. Let's do it. Okay, very different than the other one. Well, not so different. Last one. Littles. Bigger. Map. Find our inside and outside pieces here. Is this going to be on the inside? Yes, so this is going to be the inside for this one. Perfect, love that. This we'll put on the outside, so then we'll have two with some trim, so that'd be great. Then, very plain, very fun. Let's do the written. Now, we need something else interesting. Let's do this little guy. Like that. Maybe a vellum pocket. Let's do that there. Like so. Nope, let's do the other way. Like that. Yes, okay, great. Then, big sheet. Let's do this map. That way. And mulberry. And do this one with the Nordic runes on it. It's kind of fun. Like so. Let's do this guy. Oh, I'll have to look at that. Balance that out a little bit. That's fine. And that. There. And there. Okay. So, signatures sorted. I'm not sure how I feel about the green, but let's see. If we were going to put these in order, excuse me, in the book. So I think this one, because it's a wower when you first open it, right? Understand it's not going to keep being that. So this one, when you first open, is going to be great. So then what do we want to put next to it? So this is my theory. Green, other trim. Let me see. Because, oh, so I see. Okay. Green here. So this one has trim here. That one, you can still see the trim, which is interesting as well. So these two in the center, I'm kind of fine with, actually. And then that green polka dot sticks out a little too. So that would be how we're going to put it in our book. So there we go. Okay. First one for, maybe this is going to be a little mini series. I might do some of the stuff for this book off camera. I don't know, but you can see we have a good start. We have our signatures all sorted out, and then we will go into some next steps before stitching in, if I decide to stitch in. So maybe we'll do some work on the cover next to decide what we want to do. Because honestly, all of these papers, I think I had already set so that they would fit into this journal. So maybe we'll work on the cover next a little bit so that we can figure out if we want to do signatures that slide in or out, or what we want to do. Okay, so we got 4 signatures in our book, and there we go. I hope you guys enjoyed this. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, all that jazz. And leave me a comment. I love to hear from you guys. And don't forget, art with your heart. Have a great day. Bye now.